the start of this semifinal between Team USA and the Dominican Republic. The World Baseball Classic winner moves on to the finals. Each team has got one title in their pocket. They would love to get another. Star power on display tonight, and these fans are ready from Miami, and so are we. Joe Davis.
Yeah, yo es la A-Music in the house. A-Music in the house. Yeah, yeah. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Si me vende el sueño te lo vendo, vendo. Si me da cotorra, a cotorra te mantengo.
Soy dominicano, de esos que andan rialengo.
Y la tengo prendida de los tiempos de Nintendo. La tengo, es verdad que yo la tengo. Si tú quieres vicio, no le pares, te lo vendo. Tú estás hablando inglés, no le pares, yo le entiendo. Yo soy un bacano, yo con esto me entretengo. Fluye, 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 fluye. No tiramos palo party, anta con la voz construye. Pónteme bonita, hoy te sale que te puye.
Pónteme bonita que ese booty se destruye.
Pónteme bonita porque me gusta tu risa. Me invitan pa' un party, pero de visita. Pónteme bonita que te voy a llevar pa' Suiza.
Ponte el vestidito corto que se lo lleve la brisa.
Todas las mujeres son
Super teams collide in the semifinal. It's the United States and the Dominican Republic with a trip to the championship game up for grabs as Paul Skeens takes the ball for USA. We welcome you inside with the Hall of Famer John Smoltz. I'm Joe Davis. There's going to be as much greatness on the field tonight as any baseball game that we've ever seen. More than 50 All-Star nods just in these two lineups together. And you've got 12 MVP trophies between these guys. You add that to all the joy that this tournament inspires, and this sets up to be an epic night.
It really is. If the game is half of what the buildup has been, we're in for a treat. This is a Game 7 in March. What more could you ask for? It really is that big of a game for each country and each team. But what is more impressive is the star power on each team. The USA team has not yet clicked like they think they're going to, and what a way to start would be tonight with this offense, with these stars. And really, if you're going to beat a team that has all the power, it better start with your own power in Team USA.
Yeah, because the team they're facing off with here in the Dominican Republic, not just unbeaten, but they've outscored opponents 51-10 with a lineup that is downright terrifying.
It really is, and you can make the argument they got the best offense in this tournament. They've proven it, and they are confident. This is a group that's going to dance a lot if they're doing their thing at home plate. And they're going to be up against one of the best pitchers in the game in Paul Skeens. They're not worried, and neither is Paul Skeens. That's what makes this such an intriguing and must-watch game. When you see the runs that they put up and the power, the homers, the hits, there's going to be a lot, and we get to enjoy it.
If there's anybody that could slow him down, you'd think it would be the American ace, Paul Skeens. And for more, we go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Fernando Tatis Jr. said the Dominican lineup is like a bunch of superheroes, 9 Batmen, if you will. Paul Skeens is the closest thing we have to a pitching Superman. Only one member of the Dominican lineup has a hit off him, Julio Rodriguez, who is 3 for 6. Tatis and Manny Machado have never faced him. The other 6 starters combined are 0 for 21. Small sample sizes to be sure. Skeens has never pitched on a stage like this. Dominican manager Albert Pujols said the 23-year-old has never seen a lineup like this in his life. Skeens, though, does not figure to be phased. He said his previous WBC start against Mexico was like a college game, a bit bigger in the atmosphere. Today, he was one of the few U.S. players to wear a suit to the park, all business as always. Now, for more on this matchup, here's Tom Verducci.
Well, thanks, Ken. Power versus power, that doesn't really do it justice. The fastball of Paul Skeens was clocked as high as 99.7 in his last start, and the Dominicans are slugging almost 800 against fastballs in the zone. Leadoff batter Fernando Tatis Jr. has been on base 13 times in 5 games. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has not swung and missed at a fastball the entire tournament. And Junior Caminero has 2 home runs against fastballs in the tournament. Paul Skeens is not just a power pitcher, he's a pitch maker. But it will be fascinating to see how often he challenges the Dominicans with his fastball. Eduardo Rodriguez of Venezuela, who pitched against the DR in pool play, told me if Paul Skeens can throw 5 shutout innings against that lineup, he is the best pitcher who ever lived. Joe.
It's the kind of matchup that's inspiring a lot of hyperbole, Tom. Ask Mark DeRosa what he expects. He said, I expect it to be like one of the great games of all time. How about it? USA, DR coming up.
Bro, look at this. Did you see that? Should we tell him? So bad. Oh my gosh. It's not funny. Stop.
Do not listen to that.
Thank you, man.
I know how it feels.
Ever since I started wearing hands-free glide step Skechers Sleep-ins, my other shoes are useless. With Skechers Sleep-ins, I just step in and they're on. Try Skechers Sleep-ins.
Chicken Al Pastor is back at Chipotle, where fire meets flavor, where heat meets pineapple.
Yeah, yo en la 8 music in the house. 8 music in the house. Yeah, yeah. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Tú estás bacana porque desafías. Tú tienes lo tuyo, mami, tú estás al día. Tú eres de Brasil, dice la amiga mía.
Un whiskycito, una juca y chocamos todos los días.
Tú eres rula y te gusta la bacanería. Un poquito trucho, pero con filosofía. Que no dé mucha cotorra, que tenga su cuenta al día.
Rueda manito si tú vienes con poesía.
Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Si me vende el sueño te lo vendo, vendo. Si me da cotorra, a cotorra te mantengo.
Soy dominicano, de esos que andan rialengo.
Y la tengo prendida de los tiempos de Nintendo. La tengo, es verdad que yo la tengo. Si tú quieres vicio, no le pares, te lo vendo. Tú
A lineup with no holds and no mercy. It's power versus power, best versus best. And only one advances to the final.
Jam-packed pro-Dominican crowd here at Lone Depot Park in Miami. Just about set for first pitch. Team USA as the road team in this matchup. Coming to bat first, and let's take a look at Mark DeRosa's lineup. Bobby Witt Jr. leads off, and then Bryce Harper, even though he's struggled so far in the WBC, stays in there and bats second. Aaron Judge, the captain, is the 3-hitter. Kyle Schwarber's got 7 hits to lead Team USA. The change in the lineup is at third base, where Gunnar Henderson is in, Alex Bregman is out. Will Smith moves in at catcher. Bottom of the lineup, Roman Anthony's in left field. Bryce Terang, Pete Crow Armstrong have been the most consistent guys for Team USA down in the 8 and the 9 spots. And here's Luis Severino, 32 years old. He's had a decade in the major leagues, and he takes it tonight for the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, he's been waiting for a long time to play for his country, and he's healthy, and he can be very dominant. I don't think he'll have a long leash, but he has ways to get you out. There's the breakdown of his pitches. His lower half is super important. His off speed's going to have to be good against Team USA. And normally when you're pitching, you go, just let me work through the top and I'll work my way through the bottom of the lineup. The bottom of the lineup for Team USA might be their hottest hitters, so you don't have that luxury tonight.
And the star power doesn't end with the lineup when it comes to the Dominican Republic. Their manager has 703 home runs in his major league career and will be into the Hall of Fame the moment that he's eligible 2 years from now. Dominican Republic trying to make it to the final for the first time since they won it all in 2013. The United States won it in 17, lost in the final in 2023. Now one win away from a return trip, even with all the ups and downs and tension and drama the last week.
Well, for Bobby Witt, he'd love to get on base early in the count. First 2 pitches, get a hit, and then use your wheels. Put pressure on Severino to hold you and just help the hitter behind you, because I think his speed tonight's going to be crucial.
Witt fouls it off. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Mark DeRosa has continued to rave about Bobby Witt Jr. I think all of us that follow baseball know what a good player he is, but DeRosa said seeing him in person these few games, it's just elevated what he thinks about him. And he had to rack his brain for comparisons for 5-tool guys like this in recent memory. Waves and misses at a good breaking pitch, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, that breaking pitch is going to be key for Severino. Look, Team USA is going to have to put the ball in play. They cannot afford a double-digit strikeout in their lineup. They got to use their muscle and use the advantage they have at the plate.
The 1-2 from Severino is pop foul. Severino 4 innings against the Netherlands in pool play, gave up just 1 run, and that breaking pitch that he got a swing and a miss on against Witt, he threw half of the time and got all his strikeouts on that pitch.
It's such a good feel for breaking that in multiple ways.
He gets Witt for the first out of the 9 using that pitch.
He can break it from top to bottom, east to west, or any way you want. He's got a good feel for that pitch. And early in spring training, you tell yourself you're in the middle of your season, because that's the kind of perfection you want and execution you're going to need to get through these teams.
And that is what has made this stage frustrating for Bryce Harper, because normally a slump right here is just tooling the swing up for the season, but 3 for 20 in the World Baseball Classic, and he's grinded away extra work, extra rounds of batting practice. Team USA still thinks that he's close. Mark DeRosa contemplated moving him down in the lineup, but he looked and saw that he's got 3 home runs against Severino, and then he's getting these reports from the hitting coaches and from Harper himself that he thinks that he's just a tick away. He's got to be there. If Team USA is going to get the offense going, Harper's got to be part of that. On a 1-1 from Severino, takes inside. What have you seen from him?
Well, it's timing, you know, and he's just missing pitches, popping a couple up. He should have had a home run last game, but hit it to the deepest part of the park in Houston. And when his timing is right, he gets on top of the fastball, stays off of the breaking ball in his back foot, and makes it tough on pitchers.
Big rip and a foul back.
That's the pitch right there. You know, in season, he's not missing too often. And now Severino has the opportunity to go higher than high with that fastball and see if he'll get a chase. He'll chase up. He won't chase the fastball down too often.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Luis Severino to start tonight's game.
Well, fastball, actually more of a cutter that backs up, and it actually worked out to his advantage that it backed up, but you can see the timing of just reaching for that pitch.
Base is empty, 2 away. Aaron Judge, 5 hits, 6 walks in this World Baseball Classic. They, as you would expect, have pitched him carefully. 2 of those 5 hits have been home runs. His old Yankees teammate Severino
Fires 1-0. In there with a fastball. He's at 99 with his fastball, John. He averaged 96 last year.
Yeah, this is some teams are sitting at home, some managers are sitting at home and kind of holding their breath. But you like what you see right now if you're Albert Pujols, because as loose and as live as Severino is, he knows who he's going up against.
Lays off 2-2.
Putting the ball in play with these kind of hitters, the team that puts it in play more tonight is going to win, in my opinion, because they're that gifted.
2-2 pitch. Fouls off and stays alive. And as powerful as these two lineups are, both of them have walked more than they've struck out in this tournament.
Yeah, and again, getting outs, getting 3 clean outs in an inning is a huge accomplishment. We may see that only 3 or 4 times in this game when you think about the lineup they have to navigate.
Witt and Harper both strikeout victims to start this game. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Aaron Judge. And he's worked it full. United States 24 runs their first 2 games, taking advantage of much lesser pitching, not a ton of big league pitching. Brazil and Great Britain. Only 16 runs the last 3 games, though. Judge lines the ball into left field and a base hit. Just got it over Perdomo. Timed up that fastball and gives the Americans their first base runner.
Well, in a game like this, let's just call it a game 7, because that's what it's going to feel like. 2 outs, getting hits, a lot less stress than when the leadoff hitter gets on and there's a big inning looming. And the USA, Team USA, has done this quite a bit lately. And instead of getting that leadoff hitter on, which they haven't done too often, they've scored and come back with a lot of 2-out traffic.
It just has not had the steamrolling effect that you figured it would in this lineup. That ball almost, and it does, hit Schwarber. Sweeps so far inside that it hits him. And there you go, just like that. And they're at first and second with 2 out.
Well, you know, Mark DeRosa had one of the toughest decisions to make on who to play to third base. You would feel great if you're him, if Henderson were to come up with a 2-out hit right here, right off the bat.
Isn't it amazing how the game tends to find the guy that was plugged into the lineup? Here's the reason why Mark DeRosa made the change. Gunnar Henderson against Luis Severino is 7 for 9. He called Alex Bregman last night, explained his thinking, and he didn't have to do a whole lot of explaining once he told him those numbers. And Bregman has not exactly set the world on fire in this tournament. So, looking for a spark from the young Orioles star, Gunnar Henderson. 7 of 9 against Severino, and he's been productive in this tournament, hitting .500 in limited duty. Two on, 2 out, 1-0. Sails on Severino for ball 2.
But this is the kind of pressure each pitcher is going to feel when runners get on, because in everyday lineup in the big leagues, 2 to 3 guys have that power that you're worried about. Every one of them has it here.
So how do you handle that? Because I know usually you get your lineup card, you're circling a guy or 2 that can't beat you, but when they're all that guy, what do you do?
You try to get clean innings. you do the first 2 batters like he did, and then you get the 3rd guy out, because at any point with 2 outs, everybody that gets on base creates that extra pressure.
2-1. Chopper off of the hands, and an easy one for Martes. Scoreless first inning for Luis Severino. The Dominicans, the fearsome Dominican lineup, coming to the plate when you come back.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
business owner takes hard work and a whole lot of miles. So we needed a serious
Yeah, yo en la 8 music in the house. 8 music in the house. Yeah, yeah. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Tú estás bacana porque desafía. Pronto salirá esta canción. Cortesía de Joela para todos ustedes. Para que ustedes vayan y se curen con uno. Y estén tripeando pila de veces. So...
Across Major League Baseball, Tatis, Marte, Soto, Vlad Guerrero Jr. bats cleanup. Manny Machado's the 5-hitter. Junior Caminero, who a lot of people are learning about, DHs in bat 6. How about Julio Rodriguez gets bumped down to 7th in the order. Yes, Austin Wells is on the Dominican Republic, and the 9-hitter is Geraldo Perdomo. So here he is, John Paul Skeens, and Albert Pujols said, yeah, we haven't faced a guy like this in the tournament, but he hasn't faced a lineup like we've got in his life. That's because there's never been one like this. Fernando Tatis Jr. at the top of it, takes ball 1.
Well, he's not going to be afraid of his fastball. Just watch to see if that fastball height stays consistent. He likes to go up, and you see the breakdown of all the weapons he has.
Very happy with his fastball against Mexico on Monday. 60% fastball would have been the second highest usage of his fastball in his career. You got to be careful being too heavy with that tonight.
Yeah, you can't get into a groove where you can just say, here it is, go and hit it. You've got to be keeping these guys off balance.
Tatis hits a fly ball to left field for Roman Anthony. Had him off balance with a sweeper to get tonight's first out. 7 strikeouts over those 4 scoreless innings in his WBC debut on Monday. Paul Skeens still just 23 years old. From Lake Forest, California. 197 ERA in his 2 seasons with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and then doing something that he said he's dreamt of doing since he was a kid, watching the 17 team win it all. Team USA. One away, Ketel Marte climbs in. Diamondback second baseman takes strike 1.
I like already. He's not overthrown. He's not too amped up. That's a good sign. 97 miles an hour. I'm sure he'll touch 99.
Here's his 0-1. Marte lays off. Go up to 95 pitches at this stage of the tournament, but Mark DeRosa said probably 75 or 80. Is 1-1. Popped up into shallow right field. 2 hitters, both of them off balance. Routine for Bryce Terang, 2 out. So now he faces Juan Soto.
Juan Soto normally always takes the first pitch. I mean, the first 2 to 3 at bats, he'll take the first pitch. I would be nervous ascribing to that right here in this format.
I know Big Papi once got you like that.
Yes,
you thought he was going to take it, and he hit it 500 feet. Dominican great, and he's outside with a fastball. On Soto. Signed that record contract last year for the New York Mets. Got off to a slow start, but you look up at the end, and he's hit a career-high 43 home runs. He's led the league in stolen bases and finished 3rd in MVP voting. Takes a strike, 1-1.
Sí, Juan Soto, el bate, Juan Soto.
Risen to the moment.
La mole.
His country's uniform.
La bestia humana. El que sabe de la vaina. Juan Soto.
1-1 from Paul Skeens. Juan Soto pulls it on the ground. Diving stop by Bryce Terang. 1-2-3 first, Paul Skeens. Highlight play from the Platinum Glover of the Milwaukee Brewers. No score after 1 in Miami.
Mi gente, se está jugando de a duro. Se está jugando de a duro. Toditos andan haciendo su diligencia.
Everyone has free offers on the latest phones.
Se está
but
jugando
T-Mobile gives-
de a duro. Pero en lo que se juega de a duro le vamos a poner esto ahí. ¿Qué es lo que es, mi gente? Estamos en vivola. Estamos en vivola, estamos en vivola. Estamos en vivola. Estamos en vivo, mi gente. Denle like al video, suscríbanse. Denle a la campana de notificaciones. Ya, volvimos a esto, volvimos a esto.
Goes back to work, and you think he was revved up at all in that first inning. His velocity up 3 miles per hour from last year. Put another way, all of last season he had 5 pitches that were 99 plus. He had 3 in the first inning.
And you can understand why.
Estamos en vivo, estamos en
Will
vivo.
Smith to start the second.
Strike one.
Todo el mundo en vivo, todo el mundo.
I absolutely love the way Luis Severino, especially when he came into the game before he got hurt, was such a powerful, fluid pitcher. And he's dealt with certain injuries now that I think hopefully he's past it and he's learned a lot about it. You learn a lot about yourself when you go through injuries. And I think he's got a chance to be even a better, more complete pitcher this time around.
A totally different pitcher than he was when he broke in with the Yankees, and he was one of the hot young pitchers in the game. Got to the big leagues when he was 21 and didn't just get there, but he got Cy Young votes his first 2 full
Estamos en
years.
vivo ahora mismo, ¿qué es lo que es, mi gente?
Injuries you're talking about, it's from the
Denle
elbow,
like,
the
comente,
shoulder,
compartan.
to the lat, to an oblique injury. And he's come
Campana de
back 1 season with the
notificaciones.
Mets, 1 season with the A's. Much more efficient pitcher as Smith pokes this one to right field, tails away from Tatis and nestles in for a leadoff base hit. So the Dodger catcher back in the lineup today as DeRosa's gone back and forth between Smith and Cal Raleigh.
Estamos en vivo, el mejor en vivo que usted va a escuchar.
Will Smith steady as ever, drops in another.
He's so good, and he can do that as well as pull it for a home run if you make a mistake inside. And the guy that's at the plate right now,
Aquí no se puede estar poniendo huevo. Vamos a ver, vamos a ver, vamos allá.
Roman Anthony, and how complete he is as a young player at the plate and his discipline.
Youngest, he's just 21, and he hacks the first pitch foul. Roman grew up in Florida, going to Marlins games in this ballpark, wanting to be the next Christian Yelich. This is the first time, though, that Roman has played in this ballpark. It's not a huge surprise. He's only had a few months
Ese
in the
tipo que está
major
bateando un
leagues, debuting
asesino.
last June.
Ustedes saben que uno no puede estarse confiando en esos peloteros, pero son duros. Estamos en vivo, mi gente. Síganle dando like.
But I don't think anybody doubts what he's about to become.
No, and he may even bat leadoff.
Ya yo entiendo por qué a los foques tienen mucho el teléfono en la mano, loco, en verdad.
Impressive resume
Esto es un bobo.
that he has to his manager and his plate discipline.
It is amazing because you see big-time prospects come up and you see the highlight home runs, and he has plenty of those. But to combine that with an approach that had the on-base percentage as probably the most impressive thing of his rookie season. It's not just the pop.
Estamos en Vivola, mi gente. Ese tipo un asesino que está bateando.
Veteran, the way he approaches things at the plate. A tough spot here, down 0-2 against Severino. And takes strike 3 at the knees.
Se llevó Severino. Estate tranquilo, no te pongas a frontear eso loco. Que esos locos no andan en gente. Todo el mundo para YouTube, todo el mundo para YouTube. Ahora, el queche, Austin Wells, es un psicópata, mi gente. Se le robó un strike.
Comes home to Bryce Terang, misses inside. This is a little more like the old Severino would rack up the strikeouts behind 90s.
Team Dominican, vamos a ver, Team Dominican.
More mature, veteran. Severino knowledge, now 32.
Póngale like, denle like al video. Vamos, vamos, que este martes, que hay que hacerte saludo ahí. Vamos, que este martes. A ti hay que hacerte el saludo con tu pechada. ¿Qué es lo que? Compartan el like, denle suscríbanse. Van los 3 aguas, esto es para rápido de una vez. Oigan que lo que. Esta canción va a salir en estos días. Mierda, la saqué fue. Sí, la borré. Qué palomo soy yo mismo. Pero déjame ver si la consigo aquí. A ver qué es lo que. Se la vamos a poner aquí ahora mismo. Para que ustedes le lleguen ese flow. Déjame seguir configurando esto. Fácil y sencillo. Aquí, esto es. Está bien. Yo le voy a decir la verdad, mi gente. Yo no entiendo mucho Windows, en verdad. Yo no entiendo Windows, pero ven, me voy a embojotar con él. Pero esto es lo que toca. Déjame ver. Sígueme en Instagram. Te lo voy a poner ahí de repente para que tú le digas que yo soy un bacano. Yeah, yo es la 8 Music in the house. Ah, 8 Music in the house. Yeah, yeah. Todas las mujeres son mías. Todas las chicas son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías. Todas las chicas son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Tú estás bacana porque desafías. Tú tienes lo tuyo, mami, tú estás al día. Tú eres de Brasil, dice la amiga mía.
Un whiskycito, una juca y chocamos todos los días.
Tú eres rula y te gusta la bacanería. Un poquito trucho, pero con filosofía. Que no dé mucha cotorra, que tenga su cuenta al día.
Rueda manito si tú vienes con poesía.
Todas las mujeres son mías. Todas las chicas son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías. Todas las chicas son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Si me vende sueño te lo vendo. Si me da cotorra, a cotorra te mantengo.
Soy dominicano, de esos que andan realengo.
Y la tengo prendida de los tiempos de Nintendo. La tengo, es verdad que yo la tengo. Si tú quieres vicio, no le pares, te lo vendo. Tú estás hablando inglés, no le pares, yo le entiendo. Yo soy un bacano, yo con esto me entretengo. Fluye, no tiramos palo party, anda con la voz construye. Pónteme bonita, hoy te sale que te puye.
Pónteme bonita que ese booty se destruye.
Pónteme bonita porque me gusta tu risa. Me invitan pa' un party, pero de visita. Pónteme bonita que te voy a llevar pa' Suiza.
Ponte el vestidito corto que se lo lleve la brisa.
Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía.
Yo en la music in the house. Esto es lo mío, curame. Ustedes saben que los demás salen solo, dominicano y ya. Le dimos pa' todos los lados, concentrado en la música. Y déjame ver si yo me recuerdo de eso. Music in the house.
Nobody pressing in this group. Machado's down on 3 pitches. 99 to the corner, 2 out.
Se llevaron a Machado 3 malas rápido, eso es para no dormir.
This is a perfect example of, you know, when you play a football game, you got the best offense going against the best defense, and you got strength against strength, and who's going to zig and zag. And right now, both pitchers.
No le pare, Manny, no le pare, que se está trabajando. Tranquilo.
But Skeens is attacking in a much different way.
Facing 22-year-old Junior Caminero, one of the breakout stars of this tournament. Not that this is the first time he's ever shined, but the world getting to see him. Hit 45
Junior Caminero, el bate, mi gente.
For the Tampa Bay Rays last year, the second most ever for
Junior Caminero, el bate.
Got to go back 75 years.
Cero presión, lo que hay es bobo.
At 47 for the Braves. Caminero did it for the Rays last year, 45. Swings and misses, and it's 1-2.
Great split finger fastball. He has commanded in his young career every spot in the strike zone except for down and away off the plate and up and in. Those are the real only 2 spots that you have a chance to get him out.
Caminero leans out, sends a drive.
Ya tú sabes, Junior Caminero. Junior Caminero le descifrió la vaina. Hay bobo, mi gente, hay bobo, hay bobo. Honrón para Junior Caminero. Descifrado ahí mismo. Es mentira. Pero Joel, cállate, muchacho. Qué duro, Dios mío. Junior Caminero le descifrió la vaina, le descifró el picheo. Ya hay bobo. Hay bobo. El muchacho estaba callado, ahora está. Ay, mi madre. Puestazo para Junior Caminero. Honrón. El hueso.
Julio Rodriguez tries to check his swing and does.
Todo el mundo en vivo, todo el mundo. Todo el mundo a comentar.
Took advantage of it. First pitching mistake of the night, really, by either pitcher.
Qué fuetazo, Dios mío.
Rodriguez. And right here, you can see where they were trying to go, but that ball stayed up over the plate. Just talked about the quadrants of where he does not miss, and that was one of them.
Caminero had the first of the big home runs for this team in this tournament. The first game was 3-3 in the 6th inning against Nicaragua. Things getting a little bit tense. You got to remember the Dominicans didn't even make it out of pool play in the last tournament, so there was a lot of pressure coming in. And then scuffling throughout that first game.
Junior Caminero haciendo historia, mi gente.
Junior
Caminero haciendo historia.
Said he got back into the dugout and cried a couple tears of joy with his teammates surrounding him. Caminero's long drive to the Dominican Republic. A few years ago, he said, "I'll be the water boy if it means I get to put the Dominican Republic jersey on." They told Albert Pujols about that, and he said, "I'm sure I'm glad I got the water boy on my team now."
El Guareboy, mi gente. El Guareboy se la desapareció.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Rodriguez. Testament to how much star power there is in this lineup. He's hitting 7. On the ground, a second to Rang. That'll do it for the Dominican Republic, but they draw first blood. It looked like Skeens was going to roll through this second.
Pero se la dejó altísima, fue. Se la dejó altísima, fue. Y bye bye, Charlie. Bye bye, Charlie.
No one goes to Hanks for his spreadsheet.
Qué fundazo. ¿Qué es lo que es, mi gente? Seguimos aquí activos. Seguimos aquí activos. Le voy a poner esto. Déjame ver porque yo estoy en pila de grupo, pero yo no sé qué es lo que es. Estoy clandestino. El que me quiera seguir en Instagram me sigue ahí. Vamos a ver qué. Yeah, yo en la 8 music in the house. 8 music in the house. Yeah, yeah. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Tú estás bacana porque desafías. Tú tienes lo tuyo, mami, tú estás al día. Tú eres de Brasil, dice la amiga mía.
Un whiskycito, una juca y chocamos todos los días.
Tú eres rula y te gusta la bacanería. Un poquito trucho, pero con filosofía. Que no dé mucha cotorra, que tenga su cuenta al día.
Rueda manito si tú vienes con poesía.
Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Si me vende el sueño te lo vendo, vendo. Si me da cotorra, a cotorra te mantengo.
Soy dominicano, de esos que andan rialengo.
Y la tengo prendida de los tiempos de Nintendo. La tengo, es verdad que yo la tengo. Si tú quieres vicio, no le pares, te lo vendo. Tú estás hablando inglés, no le pares, yo le entiendo. Yo soy un bacano, yo con esto.
Pitch to Junior Caminero and an 0-2 count that kind of hung in the middle of the plate. They got a potent offense over there. No doubt.
You have a potent offense too. You've been waiting all tournament for it to really erupt. What have you seen so far in the approach?
I like the quality of at bat so far. We've gotten some guys on base. Listen, it's tough. He's throwing 99 miles an hour there in the first. Hopefully it settles in a little bit and we can get to him.
Mark, thanks a lot. Joe, back to you.
It's Pico Armstrong, the 9-hitter, starting off this third for Team USA. 1 ball, 1 strike. PCA
a mí me tripea Albert Pujol como coge la vaina.
Byron Buxton, and then had 2 hits, knocked in a run against Canada in the quarterfinal to solidify that spot. Really, these guys at the bottom of the order, John, Terang and Pro Armstrong have been the most consistent.
No se le puede roncar, no es duro. Déjame bajar esta luz porque como que me molesta, está como muy subido.
You got to take advantage of mistakes, and when pitchers make great pitches on you, even great hitters are going to get out.
9-1-2 for the Americans, playing from behind for the first time. That's raked foul. Pico Armstrong, 31 home runs last year, 35 stolen bases, 1 a Gold Glove. Joined Sammy Sosa as the only Cubs to have 30 seasons. That was even with really bad struggles the last couple of months. He was an MVP candidate.
Vamos allá, República Dominicana. Vamos allá.
This game is tough for patience, meaning patience for managers on pitchers or decision, patience for hitters wanting to do so much or maybe not feeling right mechanically, and it's a cruel game.
Si ustedes ven que la música se queda ahí un solo, es que no puedo tener la música y la vaina ahí, porque cuando se meten los anuncios puede hacer que lo tumben en el live. Por eso es que le estoy poniendo eso. No se desespere que cuando el juego comienza se lo pongo para atrás en bacanería.
Only one run allowed from that Dominican pen all tournament. Crow Armstrong's down on strikes, and Luis Severino, who got less swing and miss than any pitcher in the American League last year, has 4 strikeouts the first time through the order.
Well, it goes back to what I said earlier, that the Americans are going to have to put the ball in play, and they have not done that. 4 Ks out of 9 is not indicative of what we're used to seeing these guys do. So give Severino a lot of credit.
This is with his first one to Bobby Witt. U.S. getting its second look at
Bobby
Severino
Witt
here.
Jr.
There's the speed, there's the arm. We know about
Ese
the high
chamaquito duro, en
average.
verdad.
Just an incredible athlete. Mark DeRosa
Pero
said
yo creo
before
que
the game,
el
it's like a
fuerte de él, el
kangaroo
fuerte
out
de
there,
él,
the way he's
en la
bouncing around.
defensa.
He's got that quick twitch, but then
No lo he
he'll go in
visto-
batting practice with the big guys like Judge
No
and
lo he visto
Schwarber. He's
en la
right
base
there with him.
aplicándolo.
How
No
far
lo he
is
visto en
he?
el bate aplicándolo. Ustedes saben.
Racked his brain for a minute when we asked him, how far do you got to go back to find a guy this toolsy? He thought about it, and he said, I don't know. He said, I want to say Robin Yount, but with much bigger power.
Yeah.
Yount, the Hall of Famer of the Brewers, he averaged 15 home runs.
Coño, me sorprendió Severino. Yo pensé que él no le iba a dar a para, en verdad.
He's got a simple approach. He thinks
Me
right
tiene
center,
sorprendido
right center,
Severino.
and then if he sees it in, he pulls.
Slashes a line drive to left center field. It's down for a base
Está
hit
aquí
in front of
todavía,
Soto.
está aquí. Está aquí, está aquí.
The one out single for Bobby Witt. Now you got his speed on base.
See the difference between a great hitter like him and just an average hitter in the big leagues. They're
Está
not,
aquí, está aquí.
They get pull happy on every pitch, and you get yourself out
Eso
more
está aquí todavía.
by trying to pull every pitch than being able to stay up the middle, go right center, and then adjust like the quick hands that he had right there to get that single.
Tying on a board. Bryce Harper at the plate, taken inside for a ball. Harper now 3 for 21 in the classic.
Este es de los Phillies, Bryce Harper.
He needs a pitch out over the
Ustedes ven
plate
que no me sale el nombre bien, que ustedes
that
saben
he
que
can drive to left center.
uno se cura con eso.
Pulls one down the line.
Bien.
Set for Bryce Harper. Tatis over to dig it out. Witt stopped at third. Throw to second offline. Harper's got a double.
Está bien, está bien.
This will be the first decision
Le
for
dio
Albert
demasiado.
Pujols. He got that cutter in and just
Ya, ya, está bien, fue un flycito, está bien.
You got Aaron Judge with a base open. You really can't play the infield
Está
in
bien, está
because
bien.
he hits it so hard. It's kind of a moot point, so they're going to play back. And it looks like they're going to pitch to him.
See how much he gets to hit. Singled his first time.
Man.
Tying run at third, go ahead run at second. Here in the semifinal.
They'll be ready to go on this first pitch, I guarantee it. Wow. Fouled it off his body.
Man.
He hit it so hard, it looked like a normal ground ball to Machado.
Aaron Judge 4 for 6 against Severino with a home
Pasó, pero
run.
eso estaba bueno.
We're in USA. First time at any level. A lot of these
Pasó.
guys played growing up. Teenage teams, 18 and under teams. This is the first time for Judge.
Ah, pon esta silla que me da un
He's
masaje.
America's captain. And an 0-1 from Severino. Ends out of the way. Ball one.
Aaron Judge has got one more pitch to think. Until you get to 2 strikes, you think about driving the ball. Once you get to 2 strikes, you've got to put the ball in play. It changes a little bit. He's good enough, obviously, with that average and power combination.
Lays off. He's ahead. Batting title
No la
last year
vio, mi
wasn't
gente,
just
no
the
la
home
vio.
runs. 331 average. And then the 53.
Yeah, yo en la 8 music in the house. 8 music in the house. Yeah, yeah. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Tú estás bacana porque desafías. Tú tienes lo tuyo, mami, tú estás al día. Tú eres de Brasil, dice la amiga mía.
Un whiskycito, una juca y chocamos todos los días.
Tú eres rula y te gusta la bacanería. Un poquito trucho, pero con filosofía. Que no dé mucha cotorra, que tenga su cuenta al día.
Rueda manito si tú vienes con poesía.
Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Si me vende sueño te lo vendo, vendo. Si me da cotorra, a cotorra te mantengo.
Soy dominicano, de esos que andan rialengo.
Y la tengo prendida de los tiempos de Nintendo. La tengo, es verdad que yo la tengo. Si tú quieres vicio, no le pares, te lo vendo. Tú estás hablando inglés, no le pares, yo le entiendo. Yo soy un bacano, yo con esto me entretengo. Fluye, 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 fluye. No tiramos palo party, anda con la voz construye. Pónteme bonita, hoy te sale que te puye.
Pónteme bonita que ese booty se destruye.
Pónteme bonita porque me gusta tu risa. Me invitan pa' un party, pero de visita. Pónteme bonita que te voy a llevar pa' Suiza.
Ponte el vestidito corto que se lo lleve la brisa.
Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía.
Yo en la music in the house. Esto es lo mío, curame. Ustedes saben que los demás salen solo. Dominicano y ya. Le dimos pa' todos los lados, concentrado en la música. Y déjame ver si yo me recuerdo de eso. Music in the house.
Siga dándole like al video, comente, compártalo. Que estamos maduros que el día.
Severino was 6-0, 3 ERA. This is inside, and it's 2-1.
Again, I haven't seen too many pitches that are the same and that are in the same location. You notice where he's getting the hitter's eyes. Away, down and in.
Denle like al video, comenten, comparten, comparta.
Schwarber fouls it off. Fastball to the top of the zone, and it's 2-2. But again, all on the quadrants, all up. That one was up at the top of the zone. The fastball previous was away.
Vamos allá, separaron los muchachos para que se lo lleven. Para que se lo lleven ponchado.
Deuces Wild in the third. 2 on, 2 out, and a 2-2. Right there for strike 3.
Vete.
Severino with
Vete. Severino. Tú estás toda, tú eres mío. Tú estás frío. Está bien. Pero no te haciéndole bulla a esa gente, que esa gente son locos. Él está frío y está todo, pero no le haga bulla a esos tigres, que esos tigres son locos. A esos tigres, mi gente, no se le puede estar haciendo mucha moriqueta. Déjame poner la cámara aquí para curarme un rato. Mi gente, miren. Miren lo que les voy a decir aquí. Estos juegos, estos tigres se están midiendo y le están dando la oportunidad a esos chamaquitos para que rompan. ¿Ustedes me entienden? ¿Qué fue lo que yo hice? Dispositivo. Le están dando la oportunidad a estos chamaquitos para que rompan. ¿Saben lo que le digo? USA versus República Dominicana, mi gente. Un partido que tiene que quedar para la historia. este partido que ustedes van ahí tiene que quedar para la historia. ¿Por qué? Pues le explico. Ustedes saben que lo que saben, porque yo no sé de eso. Yo no jodo mucho con pelota. Yo simplemente soy un fanático que mira. Tiene que quedar para la historia porque según todos los macuteos que estaban haciendo, todos los truqueteos que estaban haciendo, era para que queden Japón y Estados Unidos. No se sabe exactamente si era que Estados Unidos estaba evitando chocar con Japón. Pero yo me quedo maquinando y me quedo pensando, coño, pero la cabra no es Japón. La cabra ahora mismo es República Dominicana, que está cero, no ha perdido ni uno. Entonces, ¿qué es lo que? ¿O no la quieren dar? Estamos aquí en vivo. Estamos aquí, cambiando.
Yeah, yo es la 8 music in the house. 8 music in the house. Yeah, yeah. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Tú estás bacana porque desafías. Tú tienes lo tuyo, mami, tú estás al día. Tú eres de Brasil, dice la amiga mía.
Un whiskycito, una juca y chocamos todos los días.
Tú eres rula y te gusta la bacanería. Un poquito trucho, pero con filosofía. Que no dé mucha cotorra, que tenga su cuenta al día.
Rueda manito si tú vienes con poesía.
Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Si me vende sueño te lo vendo. Si me da cotorra, a cotorra te mantengo.
Soy dominicano, de esos que andan rialengo.
Y la tengo prendida de los tiempos de Nintendo. La tengo, es verdad que yo la tengo. Si tú quieres vicio, no le pares, te lo vendo. Tú estás hablando inglés, no le pares, yo le entiendo. Yo soy un bacano, yo con esto me entretengo. Fluye, no tiramos palo pari, anda con la voz construye. Pónteme bonita, hoy te sale que te puye.
Pónteme bonita que ese booty se destruye.
Pónteme bonita porque me gusta tu risa. Me invitan pa' un party, pero de visita. Pónteme bonita que te voy a llevar pa' Suiza.
Ponte el vestidito corto que se lo lleve la brisa.
Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía.
Yo es la 8 music in the house. Esto es lo mío, curame. Ustedes saben que los demás salen solos. Dominicano y ya. Le dimos pa' todos los lados, concentrado en la música. Y déjame ver si yo me recuerdo de eso. 8 music in the house.
20 home runs and 100 batted in. He gets hit by this two-strike pitch. And the table set for the top of the order as Skeens hits Perdomo.
Mira, Blanquito.
Those are tough. Two-strike
ponte
hit
claro,
pitches
¿oíste?
are tough for pitchers to take. He tried to absolutely bury this pitch, and he did bury it, unfortunately, into a cleat.
So Perdomo's on, back to the top of the order. Fernando Tatis Jr., who set the world on fire.
Ponte claro,
Major
¿oíste?
Leagues.
Digo al Blanquito.
The injuries, the suspension, he missed a full year. The bat hasn't quite been the same in the years since. What's changed, though, is he's gone out to right field.
Fernando Tati el Niño.
He's been the best right
El
fielder
que,
in baseball.
AKA el Niño.
But there's still flashes of offense in this WBC, I think, John, inspired. He can get back to what he was.
Vamos allá, el Niño al bate, mi gente.
3 or 4 best
El Niño al bate.
He's got great power to all parts of the field and really good plate coverage.
This is what we've seen more in this tournament, and granted it's a tiny sample size, but much more discipline.
Estamos en vivo, mi gente, ahora mismo estamos en vivo. Esto está picante, todo el mundo dale like, que está interesante. Cuando den anuncio, le voy a poner y arreglo esto. Le arreglo esto ahora mismo.
3-0 on Tatis.
Le arreglo esto.
Tatis with a .600 on-base percentage in the Classic. 11 runs batted in 5 games. He's bearing in on the record for the tournament. Yoshida of Japan knocked in 13 in the last WBC. Perdomo inches off to his lead. His good wheels. You wonder how diminished that may be. Getting hit on the foot. The guy for the Dominican with multiple
Geraldo Perdomo, mi gente.
tournament.
El corre. Oh, pero ¿qué es lo que yo digo?
Not running. Tatis bounces it down to third. Henderson guns to second for 1. Over to first, not in time.
Hey, el niño está seis.
Henderson did a great job taking his time to make sure he gets the throw to second. The tendency is to try and hurry up and get a double play, but he knows Tatis can run.
Que este el martes, mi gente, el bate.
Big inning by trying to make a heroic play, just make the right play.
Two gone in the third. 36 pitches for Skeens.
Que este el martes, el bate, mi gente.
What Team USA has in mind here, having respect his build-up for his Pirate season. Ketel Marte takes upstairs.
Tati, no te vayas, quédate ahí, muchacho.
Marte popped out his first time. One of the best players in baseball that people don't talk about in that breath. The last 2 years, the top 5 hitters in terms of on-base plus slugging goes Judge, Ohtani, Juan Soto, Bobby Witt, and then Ketel Marte, who shows off that bat with a base hit to right. Tatis heads for third. Throw from Judge. Right there. He's gone. Judge, touchdown Tatis. Thrilling stuff.
Oh, coño. Está duro, estuvo buena jugada.
Well, Yankees fans, I think the elbows.
Mi gente, qué robada de base, ni más bacana. En verdad, te cacharon, Tati, te cacharon. Te cacharon, Tati, te cacharon. Tati estaba loquito por robarse esa base. En verdad. Tati estaba loquito. No debió de robarse la Tati esa base, ¿no? Ya. ¿Qué es lo que es, mi gente? Ustedes saben que Tati no se puede estar jodiendo mucho, Tati. Tiene que cogerlo con calma.
In 3 years.
Oh, this was absolutely perfect, and I'll tell you what, he
No
threw
se
an
puede estar jodiendo.
on-mill fly, a strike, the easiest one to tag, and a huge moment for Team USA.
Skeens appreciates it. He said, I see your fastball, and I know a good one.
96 miles per hour on the throw from Judge, his second outfield assist of the tournament. Gunnar Henderson starts the fourth for Team USA. 5, 6, and 7 against Severino.
Déjame ver.
Captain of Team USA.
Le digo ahora mismo cuánta está.
Expectations, what Judge would bring, and high expectations, what the clubhouse
Le digo
would
ahora
be like.
mismo cuánta
Said it's
está.
all exceeded his expectations, and it circles back around in a room full of superstars to number 99.
Ahora mismo está 1-2.
1-0 Dominican Republic on a Junior Caminero home run in the second inning.
1-2.
0-2 to Henderson is taken down and away for a ball. Mark DeRosa called Gunnar Henderson this winter and offered him a spot on Team USA. He said, I want to be up front with you. Bobby Wood is our starting shortstop. We want you in the club. We're going to find time for you.
República
And Henderson said, all right, I get it, but I'm going to force your hand.
Mi
Sure enough,
país.
the first start that he gets, bangs out 4 hits.
República
Finds himself in the starting lineup
Dominicana.
in this winter go-home game.
No podemos ponernos a hacer fiesta, mi gente.
An all-star in 2024. Not quite as good last year, but still just
Por
24
ahora.
years of age. Good take right there. Count evens 2-2.
Big inning, as we talked about, coming off that emotional inning before. Velocity coming back closer to his average.
No podemos podernos hacer fiesta, mi gente.
High energy, stressful situation, you make a pitch up a little bit too hot. You get out of it. The biggest thing, explode in the third inning, which you wouldn't do many times in a regular season game, but this is not a regular season game. You gotta be careful. I never really going in the right direction late in the game because of that air coming out of the balloon, because I was always trying to store it up. But the one thing you can't do is you can't sit back
down there. Did you have any tricks for when your motor got running a little bit too hot?
The biggest thing that I learned, I got it really. When you're in this slate right here, the geese, consider this the 8th inning because I was always trying to store it up. But the one thing you can't do is you can't sit back and let it eat to start. The spring training hasn't built him up. When you're in this play right here, secondary stuff to get consider this the 8th inning and normal start because spring training hasn't built him up. You rely on your location and secondary stuff to get you through because the velocity he had early was good enough.
Gunnar Henderson getting a lot of information from him here. The 9th pitch, turns on it, sends a fly ball to right center field. Gunnar Henderson has tied it up.
The velocity he had early was good enough.
Gunnar Henderson getting a lot of information.
Tremendo tablazo que le dieron.
Pitch, turns on it, sends a fly ball to right center field. Gunnar Henderson has tied it up. Pushing Gunnar Henderson to the whistle.
Tremendo tablazo, mi gente, que le dieron.
Henderson into the lineup. Numbers that you could not deny against Luis Severino in his career. Pushing Gunnar Henderson into the lineup.
But I'm telling you that this is all like pitching 101. You just, I think this should be his last hitter. And the reason being is he has lost an inch or two now on that crispness, and he did everything he could that last inning to keep it at 0.
Está 1-1, mi gente. 1-1.
Emptied in the third inning.
Yeah.
And this time of year, maybe it counts.
Absolutely. In this kind of game, there's so much emotion. You can't ignore it.
Will Smith breaks the ball to left center field. Juan Soto's on the run, tracks it down.
Yeah.
What a hand from Severino, and Soto covers a lot of ground right there.
Soto se la cachó, le di en otro fundazo.
Wakes up that Team USA dugout. They've been looking for the big swing, and they get it from the Orioles star, Gunnar Henderson. One batter later, that is it for Luis Severino. Albert Pujols.
No bulto, mi gente, está interesante estos juegos. Están cogiendo color, mi gente. Ya comenzaron los palos. Ya comenzaron los palos. Junior Severino se lo llevaron ya. Está bien ahí, es que no se le puede estar dando brea. No se puede estar dando break, mi gente. Ustedes saben que lo que hay es el que le ronca el que le ronca a estos gringuitos fácilmente nos hacen 100 carreras aquí ya. Fácilmente nos hacen 100 carreras si le roncamos. 100 carreras fácilmente si le roncamos. Ya ustedes saben por dónde anda esto. Está ahora mismo empate, 1-1. Esto no ronca, esto de una vez.
This witness is reliable. He's coming after me, then you, then your family.
Sounds like you let
de una vez y calentando está.
Memory of a Killer, all new Monday on Fox.
All right, Fox Saturday Night Baseball is back. Fans are back. Celebrations are back. Players are back, doing 17.
Severino, vete con Dios, mijo. Muy bueno, muy bueno. No te hicieron mucho, solamente que te lo empataron. Está bien ahí. No está mal tampoco la presentación de él, mi gente. No lo podemos sacrificar. Gregory Soto, mi gente, el bate. Sí, que el bate. A la lomita.
The lefty's on to face Roman Anthony here. Good arm. He could be a little bit wild of the strike zone. And certainly, he's got the power. So does this guy right here, Roman Anthony. #1 hard hit rate in baseball as a rookie last year. Does that mean anything?
En verdad,
well, to judge a stat, look at the guys that populate the top of the leaderboard. Top hard hit rates in baseball after Roman Anthony was Kyle Schwarber, Shohei Ohtani, and Aaron Judge.
No me tripea mucho Gregory Soto, ¿no? Como que a él se la ven mucho la bola.
1-0 pitch. Down and away. Alex Cora was looking forward to him getting some more lefty opportunities in this tournament here. It's one of them right here in a tie game. A 2-0 pitch. Missed inside, ball 3.
Team USA knows they've seen Soto in the big leagues. They know sometimes you got to wait it out.
Anthony not on the initial roster for Team USA. Corbin Carroll got hurt, and they needed another outfielder. And Anthony was the choice. Most of the conversations around Anthony revolved around Team Italy. He had decided he wasn't going to play for Team Italy. He injured his oblique at the end of last season and wanted to focus on recovering from that, getting ready for his Red Sox season. But he got what he said was a shocking call. That was from Mark DeRosa and Team USA to join the red, white, and blue. Fly ball right center field. Rodriguez and Tatis going back. Here it is gone.
Otro jonrón, mi gente, para Estados Unidos. Qué bobo. Yo le dije a ustedes que ese tipo no me tripea mucho porque a él le ve mucho la bola. Yo se lo dije a ustedes que a mí no me tripea mucho él porque a él se la ve en la bola.
Yeah, yo es la 8 music in the house. 8 music in the house. Yeah, yeah.
Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Tú estás bacana porque desafías. Tú tienes lo tuyo, mami, tú estás al día. Tú eres de Brasil, dice la amiga mía.
Un whiskycito, una juca y chocamos todos los días.
Tú eres rula y te gusta la bacanería. Un poquito trucho, pero con filosofía. Que no dé mucha cotorra, que tenga su cuenta al día.
Rueda manito si tú vienes con poesía.
Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Si me vende el sueño te lo vendo, vendo. Si me da cotorra, a cotorra te mantengo.
Soy dominicano, de esos que andan rialengo.
Y la tengo prendida de los tiempos de Nintendo. La tengo, es verdad que yo la tengo. Si tú quieres vicio, no le pares, te lo vendo. Tú estás hablando inglés, no le pares, yo le entiendo. Yo soy un bacano, yo con esto me entretengo. Fluye, 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 fluye. No tiramos palo party, anda con la voz construye. Pónteme bonita, hoy te sale que te puye.
Pónteme bonita que seguro y se destruye.
Pónteme bonita porque me gusta tu risa. Me invitan pa' un party, pero de visita. Pónteme bonita que te voy a llevar pa' Suiza.
Ponte el vestidito corto que se lo lleve la brisa.
Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía.
Yo en la music in the house. Este es lo mío, curame. Ustedes saben que los demás salen solo. Dominicano y ya. Le dimos pa' todos los lados, concentrado en la música. Y déjame ver si yo me recuerdo de eso. Music in the house.
Facing Mexico, that was probably 70-30 Mexico fans. What do you think this is tonight? That's close to 70-30, maybe around there, 60-40, 70-30. And look, the hype around this tournament and the quality of players that have started to agree to play in it.
Little cue shot that knuckles by Soto, and Pico Armstrong's aboard.
Wow,
is making this tournament better and better, because when we started this out, we did not get, the Team USA did not get a lot of the stars. And you can put that argument to rest now with the work that Mark DeRosa and the U.S. staff has done, because, you know, we're seeing some star-studded countries, and now it's equaling out.
Yeah, doesn't it kind of feel like this matchup here is the culmination of that, where all those roads...
Qué chelcha, mano. Qué chelcha, mi gente.
Have led to from the first WBC in 2006 to this game here, where there are 54 All-Star selections in the two lineups.
Sí, sácalo de una vez, sácalo de una vez. Eso es lo que me tripea a mí de Albert Pujol, mi gente, para que ustedes tengan una idea. Miren lo que tiene Albert Pujol, que a mí me tripea pila. Lléguenle. Que él nos ronca, él inmediatamente pone un huevo de una vez, venga, que usted no puede estar aquí. Albert Pujol no anda en gente. Usted puso un huevo y a usted lo sacan de una vez. Eso es de una vez sacado. Albert Pujol no anda en gente. Y yo le voy a decir la verdad, está bien ahí que lo saquen, porque es que esto no es de que para que tú andes adivinando. A veces uno cree que son contrarios del otro equipo. Coño, Álvaro, ¿cómo tú dejas ahí una bola así, de ahí, tan de cerca? A veces uno cree que son contrarios de uno. Pero ustedes saben cómo es. Esto es béisbol. Este es béisbol. Vamos, todo el mundo, denle like, comente, denle. Quiero ver a todo el mundo activo.
Debut last year for the Colorado
Sí, ese duro, ese duro.
25 years of age.
Ese representa.
In the fourth inning, a pair of solo home runs for Team USA has flipped the score around. Gunnar Henderson and Roman Anthony both finding the seats. Crow Armstrong aboard on a 2-out air. And it's Bobby Witt up there, taking strike one from
Bobby Williams.
You see the velocity.
Bobby Witt Jr., digo.
A lot of velocity is going to come out of that pen for the Dominican team.
It seems like every team in this WBC, even dudes that you've never heard of or that have never pitched in the big leagues, they're throwing upper 90s. There's some guys coming out of the Team Italy pen that haven't even reached AA, AAA at this point. It was like, my goodness. Strike two on Witt.
Ahí
He likes to elevate that fastball. See if this is the place he tries to go to it.
Ahí piedra tras piedra, Piedra tras piedra. Piedra tras piedra, eso no es que para andar adivinando.
Nicaragua scored in the top of the first inning. And Dominican scored two in the bottom of the first, has not trailed since. It was a week and a half ago. 2-2 pitch. There goes Crow Armstrong, a swing and a miss and strike three.
Eso es lo que se quiere.
Has gone down on strikes tonight. But a pair of home runs has put the Dominican behind.
No le pare, que vamos allá, eso solo empatamos nosotros ahora. No se desesperen, mi gente, no se desesperen que esto está comenzando. Yo no quiero tener mi fanatismo. ¿Tú me entiendes? De que, pero que ustedes saben que esa dominicanidad a uno le sale neutra. Eso le sale a uno neutro, esa dominicanidad.
Do not listen to that.
Thank you, man. Espérate, aquí que vamos. Esa dominicanidad le sale a uno neutro. En lo que se investiga el caso. Navigator. Ustedes saben que, pero ¿y qué es lo que? Déjame ponerla de aquí porque en verdad. Estos tigres, mi gente, en verdad. Esto es una selección que estos tigres son todos duros. Aquí no hay de que María estaba lavando. Estos tigres son todos duros. Y esto es una serie, loco, que estos son los mejores de los mejores. Por eso es que cuando hay gente que hace esa vaina como este muchacho, aquí no se puede poner huevo, aquí no se puede hacer tollo, porque se está seleccionando lo mejor de lo mejor. Lo mejor de lo mejor, y si usted le dan el break de pichar, usted tiene que saber que usted tiene que dar 1000 por 1000. Ahí vamos allá, comenzó esto de nuevo. Ya el tipo prácticamente, ese pitcher ya ha vencido. Ese pitcher ya ha derrotado prácticamente a Severino, Soto, y ahora va para el número 3 y él está ahí todavía.
Out at third. That was going to be first and third for Soto. Instead, leaning over and he gets to face Soto.
Bueno, Soto con el pasito amenazador.
Soto
con el pasito amenazador.
Yo en la
8 music in the house. 8 music in the house. Yeah, yeah. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Tú estás bacana porque desafía. Tú tienes lo tuyo, mami, tú estás al día. Tú eres de Brasil, dice la amiga mía.
Un whiskycito, una juca y chocamos todos los días.
Tú eres rula y te gusta la bacanería. Un poquito trucho, pero con filosofía. Que no dé mucha cotorra, que tenga su cuenta al día.
Rueda manito si tú vienes con poesía.
Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Si me vende sueño te lo vendo, vendo. Si me da cotorra, a cotorra te mantengo.
Soy dominicano, de esos que andan rialengo.
Y la tengo prendida de los tiempos de Nintendo. La tengo, es verdad que yo la tengo. Si tú quieres vicio, no le pares, te lo vendo. Tú estás hablando inglés, no le pares, yo lo entiendo. Yo soy un bacano, yo con esto me entretengo. Fluye, 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 no tiramos palo party, anda con la voz construye. Pónteme bonita, hoy te sale que te puye.
Pónteme bonita que ese booty se destruye.
Pónteme bonita porque me gusta tu risa. Me invitan pa' un party, pero de visita. Pónteme bonita que te voy a llevar pa' Suiza.
Ponte el vestidito corto que se lo lleve la brisa.
Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Todas las chicas son mías, son mías. Todas las mujeres son mías, son mías. Ando desacatado, rula y en doble vía.
Yo en la music in the house. Esto es lo mío, curame. Ustedes saben que los demás salen solo. Dominicano y ya. Venimos para todos los lados, concentrados en la música. Y déjame ver si yo me recuerdo de eso. In the house.
Republic in his third WBC. He's from just down the street here in Miami. Rito Miami Private School, 3 miles from here, but his mom's side of the family from the Dominican Republic. Strike 2. Okay, now in this pitch right here, I'm sure Paul Skeens very aware it does not have to be and should not be in the strike zone. Breaking pitch down and away. You can just keep going higher with that fastball. Banged up the middle, smothered by Whip. From Machado, but it saves a run.
Bobby Witt. Tú no eres de poner huevo así, Bobby Witt, pero te bregan de gante.
Will Smith wanted it high, but he threw it right down the middle. That's the difference. He needed to get that ball above his hands and above the mask of Will Smith.
Bobby.
But he threw it down the middle, and lucky it's just a single. So now Caminero, how you pitching him? Well, he had him dead to rights until he threw a high slider on the outside part of the plate. You've got to get him.
Junior Caminero, 1-2, cuarto inning. Déjame ver, 2. Mierda, 0 out. Oh no, hay un out. Hay un out, mi gente. Un solo. Caminero al bate. Cuarto inning. Cuarto inning. Bajando. Junior Caminero al bate. Caminero Junior al bate. Dos bolas. 0 strike, déjame ver. 2 bolas, 0 strike. Junior Caminero al bate. La cabra.
Skeens delivers 1-1 and a ground ball to short.
No, eso es fácil. Ay, mi madre, 6 todo el mundo. 6. 6. 6. 6. Eso es 6, eso no es doble play. Eso es 6.
Maybe tried to do that a little too quick for as hard as that ball was hit.
Eso es 6.
And getting that first out and this ball popping out of his glove.
Dámelo.
This ball was hit on a 3-hopper right to short, and he just tried to be a little too quick.
Se la agarró, está bien.
Republic wanted to
Está
take a
bien
look at that and
pasado.
make sure that he did in fact get the out at second, and there will be no challenge. So first and third
el tipo se la paró.
away. Let's see if Dominican Republic can take advantage. Julio Rodriguez.
Coño, Julio, haz algo, por favor, Julio.
Rodriguez.
Ay, no. Ay,
3 hits,
bárbaro, trae. Lo cantaste, asesino.
He's 0 for 11 since.
Junior, desacátate, invéntate algo. Dale un fuetazo, esa bola bien dado. Qué bobo, Qué bobo,
Guerrero at third, Caminero at first. Skeens
Vamos,
comes
Julio,
home.
vamos.
Almost hit him.
Vamos, Julio. Julio,
Here's the 1-1 pitch.
Invéntate algo, Julio. Dale la madre a esa bola.
He's got him in conscious. He gets an opportunity to get this off the plate, breaking away from him.
Time taken by Rodriguez. 32 home runs last year.
Vamos, Julio Rodríguez, vamos.
Including one in Game 7 of the championship series. He would have been the guy that they were talking about.
Era un base por bola,
One thing he does do with runners in scoring position, he does chase a lot.
The 1-2 from Paul Skeens. He hit him on the wrist. It's the second batter that Skeens has hit with 2 strikes. The bases are loaded. The more immediate thing is hope Julio Rodriguez is okay.
Coño, ya comienzan esta gente a jugar pariguayo.
A few years back, Jose Altuve got hit in the thumb in the WBC. Had to miss the first couple months.
This one just chases in. He really didn't have much. He got him twice off the wrist and his chest.
Oof. Rodriguez, who said,
Ahí mi madre, como que se volvieran locos y le trajeran a Onel Cruz. Qué raro que esta gente no le han metido par de bateadores zurdos. Par de bateadores zurdos. Mierda, Austin Wells de nuevo. Y es zurdo. Austin, vamos. Vamos, Austin. Vamos, Austin, que tú eres duro. Austin vuela al bate. Queremos una Austin huelseada. Una Austin huelseada, mi gente. Una Austin huelseada. Un fundazo mal dado para allá, para el fin del mundo.
After pounding 2 pitches in. Wells will take time. Yankee catcher resets.
Una hortihuelseada. Queremos una hortihuelseada. Una hortihuelseada. Todo el mundo comente, denle like. Desaparece esa bola, lo que el día hecho. Desaparecela. Par de bateadores zurdos que se cubren ahí.
Tries it again on 1-2 to Austin Wells. Sky high to left field and routine for Roman Anthony. The Dominican Republic leaves the bases loaded. Paul Skeens is out of it. 2-1 after 4.
No le pare que falta más juego todavía, falta más juego. No se me emocione nadie, ni se me quille nadie, que esto apenas está comenzando. Esto apenas está comenzando. No se quille nadie, que esto apenas está comenzando. Estados Unidos, República Dominicana versus Estados Unidos, serie final. Base llena, Dios mío. Como la dejó escapar, mi gente. Austin huele esa bolita. Ya él ha pichado. Ya el pana ya lleva pichado. Déjame ver. El pana lleva de picheo, le digo ahora mismo. Esto apenas está comenzando. No se quille nadie, que esto apenas está comenzando.
In the 4th inning, lighting this place on fire, just incredible environment.
Comenzó el juidero.
Pretty electric, Joe, and much has been made of Team USA's relatively grim-faced approach in this tournament.
No se desesperen, que esto está comenzando. Esto apenas lo que va es.
Part of that stems from the fact that until tonight, USA
2-1.
had an electrifying moment similar to Trey Turner's go-ahead grand slam in the
2-1, mi gente.
final against Venezuela. Tonight, we've seen 3 such moments. The Judge throw, the Henderson homer, and the Anthony homer.
2-1, mi gente.
The players have said they've relished this experience,
Ganando Estados Unidos.
But the way they're playing tonight, it's a lot easier for them to show they're having fun.
And it's certainly, I mean, high tide raises all boats, right? And the way that the Dominican Republic are over there having a great time, and the environment in this building, figure infuses them with some of that as well. Harper flies out to left on the first pitch, and Mark DeRosa said he just hates that narrative that they're not having any fun. Look, it hadn't probably been real fun the way that it's been against Mexico. For a lot of that game, they were quiet, and against Italy, the loss. Plenty of reasons to get excited early on in this game. Here's Judge, who's 1 for 2.
I always laugh at the notion that, you know, a guy could strike out 3 times, break 3 bats over his knee, and it'll be viewed as that's an intense competitor. He struck out 3 times versus the guy that strikes out 3 times and sets the bat in the bat rack.
Drive center field. Rodriguez going back. Did he get enough? He did not.
Tú estás loco. Tú estás loco. Tú estás loco. Si hay loco, hay que hacerle tu pechada. Josh, al saludo, Josh. Al saludo, Josh. Halo, el saludo.
Judge had carried his bat almost to first base. Watch this. He knows he's got it pretty good. He's got the bat in his hand the whole time. So there's
Halo, el saludo.
doubt, and then that eliminated it.
Halo, el saludo, Josh.
We just got hit by a pitch. Dominican Republic fans, certainly Seattle Mariner fans were holding their breath, making sure he was okay. I think he's all right.
Come on.
Dismay and respect.
Come on.
Something altogether different right there from Mejia.
Come on, yeah.
2-1. 0-2 on Kyle Schwarber. Julio Rodriguez right at the forefront of young players coming out,
Mierda, qué
showing
psicópata,
motion.
Julio Rodríguez.
Of course, more of the culture in this World Baseball Classic. It invites more of that. And it is so much fun watching them, like he says, play the game like he's a kid again. 0-2 to Schwarber in the dirt. They asked Elder Pujols, do you think that some of this can be taken?
Yo me curo, ustedes saben por qué. Porque que
I just don't think you can replicate it. You got to know that this is in our blood. This is in our DNA. The way we came up playing the game in the Dominican Republic. So a lot of it has to do with repping the country. Wearing that jersey. Well,
qué duro, mi gente. Yo pensé, dije yo, mierda, otro jonrón.
162 games.
How many more we got? 150.
I always wonder how much time does it take to remember every celebrational move. The high, you know, everyone's got something, and you know they work on it.
Schwarber on the ground. Past Marte. 2-out base hit. Yeah, you got to have a full catalog of those.
You do.
You know, like quarterbacks have their play call sheet. You could pull out your band to remind you what your celebration.
And the way my brain is, I would forget half of them, and I'd be like, "Oh, my bad. You know, that wasn't the one we were supposed to do with you."
Gunnar Henderson, who lit the fire for Team USA with a home run to lead off last inning, and Chase Luis Severino. He's going to face somebody other than Mejia. Brazoban will come in. It was this close to a third home run, but Julio Rodriguez says, stays 2-1.
The college basketball crown is back. For the crown right here. An elite postseason tournament on Fox and FS1. 8 teams from the nation's top conferences put it all on the line to rule the court. For the crown right here. Watch out. Coming April 1st, live from Las Vegas.
Yeah.
A champion.
Mi gente, ¿qué es lo que? Qué duro. Mi gente, no se desesperen, estamos en anuncio ahora mismo.
Top of the 5th inning. You can take home a piece of the game. You can bid on game-used jerseys, baseballs, bases, and more at auctions.mlb.com. And Julio saying, yeah, you see that? You like that?
You know what's amazing is when you get to see these guys up close and realize how big Julio Rodriguez is. He's huge. Tatis is big too, but this man right here,
like NFL, outside linebacker, safety.
He could be. I mean, he plays center field, so we see him from a distance. And
Gunnar Henderson, not a little guy. He climbs in to face the new Dominican pitcher. It's Huáscar Brazoban. 36 years of age of the New York Mets. Brazoban started his baseball journey some 15 years ago when he signed with the Colorado Rockies, but didn't make it to the major leagues until a decade later when he finally broke through in 2022. Ball one on Henderson.
Tell you what, Schwarber can get as big a lead as he wants. They're not even going to pay attention to him.
Up along first, that's fair ball, and Guerrero steps on the bag to end the inning. He's had some tremendous defense in this game. Rodriguez with the latest gem.
Están jugando bien, mi gente, están jugando bien.
There are certain things you can do in a house that will last for the
36 years of age of the New York Mets. Brazoban started his baseball journey some 15 years ago when he signed with the Colorado Rockies, but didn't make it to the major leagues until a decade later. He finally broke through in 2022.
Comenzó el juidero. Comenzó el juidero.
FS1, catch the best of the best. They go full throttle.
Comenzó el juidero. Comenzó el juidero.
It's the Goodyear 400, Sunday, 3 o'clock Eastern. Pre-race action begins at 1:30, only on FS1.
Comenzó el juidero.
Just a solo home run from Junior Caminero in the second inning against Paul Skeens, who got out of a bases-loaded jam in the fourth. Dominican really made him work in that inning. It averaged about 12 pitches per inning, but had to throw more than 20 in the fourth. 1-2 coming up here. It's Geraldo Perdomo to lead off.
I know it's only 2-1, but there's been a lot of emotional things that are happening in each of these innings. What did we talk about? How many times it was going to be, how hard it was going to get just 3 outs in an inning. It's happened once or twice.
I think you're right. Just the bottom of the first inning. 1, 2, 3 for Skeens. Rocks and fires in 0-1. Perdomo fouls it off, and it's 0-2. Skeens had 3 uncles who served in the military. That was what inspired him to want to go the same route. Of course, by now you know, went to the Air Force Academy with dreams of being a fighter pilot. Baseball took him to LSU, but he said he thinks every day about what he learned at the academy, and he wanted to do this. He wanted to pitch for Team USA. He said for every serviceman and servicewoman. Popped into left center field. See who wants it. It's Anthony. And it's for some guys you're going to say that because that's what you're supposed to say. But that is genuinely coming from the heart of Paul Skeens. That's a big part of who he is.
Yeah, all I can think of is what's the tallest guy to be in a cockpit?
That was going to be a problem. Back to the top in Tatis. Skeens is 6'6", 260 pounds.
I just hope this young man can stay
Todo el
healthy
mundo
and
en
defeat
vivo.
the odds
Todo
of
el
every
mundo en
pitcher
vivo.
in the big
Comente,
leagues
dele
that
like.
throws like him that usually ends up getting something. an injury. I hope he could stay healthy and pitch for 10, 12 years and set all kinds of records.
Tatis with one away, takes inside. Going into his third year with the Pirates. He'd love to see the Pirates build a little more around
Come on,
him.
Pirates.
And they made some moves this offseason. Got a 197 ERA his first 2 seasons. Cy Young after he won Rookie of the Year. Tatis cracks his bat on a flare that's foul.
And I think for him, the next level is going more innings, giving his team more chances to win games. It's must-win game when he pitches, right? And he had a lot of games where it was just 5 innings, 6 innings. A lot of that had to do with pitch count. A lot of that had to do with controlling the environment for him. The next level. For him is to get over that 200 innings and really make that impact in every game a little bit longer by staying in the game a little more.
New piece of lumber for Tatis. 0 for 2 tonight. Skeens comes home. Tatis pounds it into the ground up along third. That is a foul ball.
And the reason I say that is the reward system is counterproductive in our game. They will reward a pitcher for more sexy stats like strikeouts and things that don't really necessarily long-term help your team throughout the season. Innings pitched needs to get back into the forefront to be a valuable commodity for your team.
And I think you're seeing a surge in that. We often see what happens in the postseason become a season-long trend that follows. And look what a lot of the Dodger pitchers did during the postseason. Yamamoto at the front of that line. 1-2 comes home to Tatis. Tops it foul.
Because you can go into a game and be really selfish to get stats, meaning you could throw 110 pitches in 5 innings and get 10 strikeouts and ultimately not be as valuable to your team.
Penn's got to cover 4 innings. Season-long effect of that. You do it too many times. Tatis hustling. Bare hand. Throw. But wow. Tatis with an infield hit. The only chance Henderson had. Throw is offline though. Tying run aboard. And with the speed of Fernando Tatis.
Yeah, Tatis right as he hits the ball is taken off out of the box. Right here he knows immediately. Head down, going to take a perfect play, perfect throw, and it almost happened.
Career high 32 stolen bases for Tatis last year. He's the tying run at first, taking a good lead, not running, and a healthy cut and a miss. Swung so hard his hand came off of the bat, did Marte.
Bottom hand usually is not the one that comes off the bat, and that's the one that did on that swing.
Getting up into the range that Mark DeRosa was talking about for Paul Skeens, but the bullpen still relatively quiet down there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just now, Tyler Rogers has started to get loose. He's one of the new additions to Team USA's bullpen. They added a few guys over the weekend. Rogers, Tim Hill, Will Vest, Jeff Hoffman. Tatis leaning again, but not running. Line drive, base hit left center field. PCA cuts it off. Tatis hangs on.
Wow, I thought Tatis easily had third base right there.
He's maybe got PTSD.
Maybe.
Cut down by Judge earlier.
That's shocking there because that ball and that angle for the throw was going to be really difficult to wheel around and throw to third.
And there'd be more value in him getting there here than there was when he got thrown out by Judge when there were 2 outs.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to do it for Skeens. The Dominican fans realize what this means. The American ace leaves the mound. And the Dominicans are going to say anybody but Paul Skeens.
the UFL kickoff on Fox. Here we go. Friday, March 27th. It starts with a bang as the perennial powerhouse Birmingham Stout.
With traffic. Rogers to Soto. Out and away for a ball. Yes, that is an 82-mile-per-hour fastball. And it's one of the lowest release points you'll ever see. I mean, he's scraping the ground and really trying to create an illusion to the hitter. Bouncing ball towards the middle. Went to the bag. Off balance. Throw for a double play. Got it on the ground and got two.
1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis. With fewer symptoms from moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, where would you go? Imagine being a million miles away. With Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis? With fewer symptoms from moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, where would you go? Imagine being a million miles away. With
each team done a nice job getting the other one out of trouble.
Will Smith had a bunch of big blows for the Dodgers in the World Series run last year. None bigger than the game winner in the 11th inning. Anthony and Terang to follow. Brazaban's 2-1. Smith hooks it foul. Good problem for Mark DeRosa to have, choosing between the two catchers. He's gone back and forth between Cal Raleigh and Will Smith. Raleigh hitless so far and said his swing is just not in a great place. Often isn't at this time of year. If they get to the championship game, it's then going to be who has played best to that point that Mark DeRosa was going to choose to start. Down in a high pitch. One gone in the 6th. And it brings up Roman Anthony, who's got one of the 2 home runs for Team USA. Here's our player profile, sponsored by AT&T. Youngest player on the roster, 21 years old. Go-ahead shot in the 4th, his 2nd home run of the tournament.
And they gave him the rookie treatment. They had him doing all kinds of things. Well, he has delivered. He's become a veteran on the spot with all the, really with not a lot of experience, but man, oh man, he plays like he sure does have it.
Bryce Harper said, "Hey kid, we need some music. Go get us a speaker." But not just any speaker. Mark DeRosa described it as a 1,000-pound speaker that he's responsible not just for buying, but making sure it gets lugged around so they can have their music. 1-1 to Anthony. Swing and a miss. 1-2 out in front of the changeup. He has been in the hip pocket of Aaron Judge. Yankees, Red Sox getting along. Only in the World Baseball Classic. Guided by their nation's colors here. 1-2. Here comes Brazoban. It's in there. Strike 3. Sinker dives back to the inside edge. 2 out.
This is a great pitch. Look at the movement and the late inside part of the plate. Called strike 3.
Bryce Terang now. And time is called. Talking about Brazoban, how long it took him to get to the major leagues. Part of it was he wasn't pitching very well, but part of it was he had used his younger brother's name to get 2 years and be a more attractive prospect, and then they found out about that. So visa issues for years as he would try to come back from the Dominican Republic to start his seasons. And when he went to the Mets a few years back, they went out of their way to help him sort those out, basically get that file closed so he doesn't have to deal with the problems when he's going back and forth. So that's been put to bed. He's established himself as a nice piece.
Well, in the beginning, I felt like the team that would put the ball and play more was going to win this game, and that hasn't been proving to be true so far. 10 strikeouts by the USA team, but 2 home runs has got that slim lead.
Big swing and a miss from Terang. Comes in leading Team USA, hitting .476. 0 for 2 in the semi. Down 0-2 here.
Man, he looked really good on the mound.
And he stays that way, pulling the string and a changeup and striking out the side.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that opens up a world of possibilities. With Venture X, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. And turn all of your purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Southwest boarding begins now.
Oh no, we
Zeke.
I thought you checked us in last night.
Well, I was a minute late.
With Venture X, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. And turn off your purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, get premium benefits with a collection of luxury hotels when you book with Capital One cards. And get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up the world of possibilities with Capital One. Ports and robots.
Now it's going to come down to the bullpen for the USA to execute perfectly.
Zeke.
I thought you checked us in last night.
Well, I was a minute late.
And the newest pitcher to come out of that bullpen is Griffin Jacks, who has not pitched since Monday. He had former Air Force Academy cadet Paul Skeens start the game. Griffin Jacks went all the way through, graduated from the Air Force Academy, and is a captain in the Air Force Reserves, but a pretty darn good pitcher in the major leagues as well. Going last year from the Twins to the Rays. And he's going to have to be at the top of his game, John. He's got Guerrero, Machado, Caminero.
Yeah, he relies heavily on that breaking ball. And there's changeup.
Guerrero doubled his last time. Takes in the dirt for ball one. Home run of this game for the Dominicans, coming on a Caminero home run in the second. This is a team that averaged 10 runs per game coming in. Oh, pitching staffs against these loaded lineups. Really impressive. Guerrero takes a perfect pitch.
Now at that height, Guerrero didn't like the call, but has such awareness of the strike zone at that height. That breaking ball needs to start at that height if you got any chance to get him to fish.
Slash to right center field. Pico Armstrong gliding to the track. He's there. Makes it look easy. One gone in the sixth inning. Manny Machado had to be having flashbacks when he saw Julio Rodriguez rob that home run in center field tonight. These teams faced off in the quarterfinals in San Diego in 2017, and it was Adam Jones with a home run robbery as Team USA went on to win the whole thing. Tonight, Julio Rodriguez taking a home run away from Aaron Judge. Of course, it was Machado you saw in that shot that hit that ball that Jones brought back. Inside, ball one from Jacks. Machado is going into his 15th major league season. More than half of his career will be in San Diego once this year is complete. His 8th season with the Padres coming up. Wraps it on the ground to short. Backhand whip from the outfield grass. A BB for out number 2.
I think he took just a little extra second to show off that arm, by the way. His dad, of course, a former Major League Baseball pitcher, probably says, yeah, that's where he's got that fastball from. This right here is just a cannon.
Seen him make a bunch of these plays in the Classic. Yeah, Dad taking credit for the arms. I don't know where he got the rest of it from. Diving plays, the home runs, but yeah, that's from me. 2 outs. Caminero. Line drive center field, hangs up for Pico Armstrong, and Griffin Jacks 7 pitches to retire the heart of the order in order.
You could keep reminding your coach. Workers to submit their expenses. Or you could let Ramp do it. Never chase a receipt again. Ramp and Wealth Finance.
Derek Skubal has rejoined Team USA to be in the dugout for this semifinal. He hopes for the championship game as well. Skubal started one of the games of pool play before going back to the Tigers. Skeens tonight, his second start of the Classic, going 4 1/3. It's been the bullpen from there. 2-1 game. Into the top of the 7th inning, and this is Abner Uribe, the Milwaukee Brewers, to face Pete Crow Armstrong.
Uribe's nasty. He is way nasty. I know he, coming into this game, I think was the only reliever to give up some runs for the Dominican team, but what an arm.
PCA sends a fly ball to center field. Rodriguez won't have to work quite as hard for this one. One gone in the 7th. United States would love some insurance going into the late innings.
Tremendous movement on that sinker that gets it off the barrel of the bat. This kind of hitter, Bobby, he's due.
One for 3 tonight. He struck out twice. First pitch from Uribe. Sizzles in there. Strike one. 98-mile-per-hour sinker. You know, the United States offense has been more in fits and starts throughout the World Baseball Classic. And again, a lot of those come in the first 2 games against Brazil and Great Britain. Only 2 of them tonight, but the pitching holding down this Dominican lineup. The 2 so far has been enough, and this has been the workhorse for Team USA. For Bednar, this would be a 4th appearance in 6 games. You have the off day tomorrow, so if they win this game, still going to have everybody available for the championship. Wicks down on strikes for the 3rd time. You'll sense the 2 home runs in the 4th inning for Team USA. They're 1 for their last 11. Harper. 1 for 3. Does a double in this game. A 1 from Uribe. Both these teams, bad tastes in their mouth in 2023. Team USA that close against Japan. So the pain that comes with getting so close, pushing the boulder up the mountain, but not being able to finish it. For Team Dominican Republic, they got eliminated in pool play, which is unthinkable for that baseball-loving country.
Yeah, almost flukish, right? Yeah. I mean, that'll drive you if you got to wait 3 years.
Stu. Off the end of the bat, hooked on the ground to a backhanded glove of Marte, flips it on to first and completes a 1-2-3-7 for Uribe. We stretch and a 2-1 game.
Fox Sports.
Outstanding. They have risen to the occasion, made some nice plays. Again, keeping the traffic off the bases, not creating any extra rallies, because as soon as the inning starts, the crowd sees it as a rally, and they're just waiting for that big moment to erupt.
Well, it looked like Team Canada was going to have that big moment against David Bednar, who comes into the game here. They had second and third, nobody out in the seventh inning. Bednar was able to get out of that jam, and the most used reliever for Mark DeRosa so far still has not given anything up.
Fastball, curveball, splitter, and he's going to come after you with 97 miles an hour and then use his off speed and change of speed to mess you up.
Bottom of the order, but it's all relative. Still a bunch of superstars. Julio Rodriguez leads off. First pitch from Bednar. In there for a strike. Started him with a splitter. Too close for comfort for the U.S. One-run game in the seventh. 0-2. Julio Rodriguez going into his fifth major league season. Represented hope for the Mariners and right away delivered, getting them to the postseason for the first time in 2 decades in his Rookie of the Year campaign. At the same time, success brings expectations. The big contract that he signed heightens those. And so it's been a bit of a complicated ride the last few years. Very up and down. This is still an electric player that when he's right is as good as anybody. Reaches out, flips one into shallow left field. Witt is under it for the first out of the seventh.
That's the wrong guy to be messing with on this team. Keep it away from shortstop.
Tonight hadn't been too many good spots to go after on that defense. Lineup known for its bats. But more about the gloves in this semi. Austin Wells, after his 7th inning walk-off home run, Mercy Rule win against Korea, is 0 for 2 tonight, but he sends this ball to right center field, and Aaron Judge isn't going to get there. Wells into second with a 1-out double. Tying run in scoring position for the Dominican Republic.
He hit this one perfectly in between Judge and Armstrong, and that ball just gets over the head. And that's saying something when it gets over the head of Aaron Judge.
Emotion spills out of Wells. Gerardo Perdomo, the 9-hitter, but one of the best clutch hitters in the league last year. Perdomo hit .330 with runners in scoring position. After a game-winning hit, they asked him about it, and he said, "My blood is like a frog, cold." Clutch Perdomo. Takes a strike, 1-1. They call him the Frogman now because of how good he is in these spots. David Bednar finds himself in a familiar situation. Pressure on 7th inning. His 1-1 pitch to Perdomo is pop foul. Strike 2.
You get so used to seeing a regular lineup, and I would say on average this has got to be the deepest the outfielders have ever played on a consistent basis, because you've got to respect the power of the entire lineup. Typically you're going to have one side of the outfield playing in, but not against the Dominican.
2-2. Bullpen quiet. Bednar's taken over for this 7th. He's home with a 2-2 pitch. Perdomo laces a base hit to center. Wells went back at first. He stops at third. Wells was unsure if that ball was going to get over Bobby Witt, and the way Witt's played, you don't blame him for being so. But he has to stop at third, and the tying run's still 90 feet away.
Said he's clutch, and he went with the pitch. And to your point, Wells had to be absolutely sure, and that's what cost him the chance of scoring. He just talked about how deep the outfield has to play, but another tangled web here for Bednar.
Tatis has a hype man. Caminero. Tatis has about 30,000 hype men and women. Tying run at third, 1 gone in the 7th. Strike 1. There goes Perdomo. Tatis swings and misses. Go-ahead run into scoring position with 1 away.
And that was a great move. Now puts the pressure on Team USA. They've got to bring the infield in, although be it with 2 strikes.
Holes get a little bit bigger for Tatis. DR looking for the lead in the 7th. Bednar deals. Got him! Tatis is out number 2.
We've had 2 moments, Aaron Judge and now Tatis, with an opportunity for contact with less than 2 outs, and give the pitcher some credit. I mean, they have made huge pitches to 2 great hitters that could not put the ball in play.
Yeah, it was Severino that did it to Judge in the 3rd inning, 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. And now it's Bednar against Tatis, so it's up to Marte. Strike 1. David Bednar just doesn't feel right until he's got his back against the wall, huh?
I guess not. So far, he is pitching his way out of some tough situations.
On an 0-1, Marte swings and misses, and it's 0-2. Just powered a fastball by him. The 0-2. Fouls it back. Sticking with the hard stuff. Double from Wells and a single from Perdomo.
There's going to be some emotion one way or another here, either by Team USA or Team Dominican.
Another 0-2 pitch, taken high. Looks like something is about to snap. Tying run at third, go ahead run at second. Time taken by Marte. 2 hits in this game for the Diamondbacks second baseman. His double play partner that stands at second base as the go-ahead run. The 1-2 pitch. Bednar gets out of it. An escape artist for Team USA. It's been about the pitching. It's been about the defense tonight. And somehow we have a 2-1 score in the 8th inning. The last time we all saw Sir Anthony Dominguez, he was getting out of that 10th inning jam in the World Series Game 7. The Dodgers won it in the 11th, heavily used in the postseason by the Blue Jays, and whatever team he's been on, somebody that has been big in the playoffs. He's got a 186 career playoff ERA. Heads over to the Chicago White Sox this year.
Such a good breaking ball and splitter, not to mention 97+ mile-an-hour fastball.
Judge, Schwarber, and Henderson. How much do you think Mark DeRosa is praying for a run? Make him breathe a little easier here. Judge is down swinging. Elevated splitter, but he swings through it. And these WBC managing jobs are tough. You got guys who, in a lot of cases, have not managed. This is their first chance to do it. And it's got more hurdles to it than your average major league game. And that's not even to talk about the fact that every game is so dang important. Every game feels like a playoff game.
Well, no one knows the behind-the-scenes limitations and conversations. Because it's a big tournament, the average fan or the person sitting watching go, why isn't he doing this? Or why can't you do that? Or why isn't this guy pitching? It just doesn't work in a smooth way. And so you take what you have and do the best you can with it, and probably have to eat a lot of crow along the way, because every single person is going to second guess everything.
If you're a major league manager, you got to answer to one or two people. If you are a WBC manager, you got to answer to 30 different clubs who all rightfully want to protect their players. Schwarber takes a strike, 1-1.
This had to be a cross-up. It's like, what?
Wells looking out there.
Was setting up for a breaking ball, and he couldn't get it.
Schwarber takes the ball, 2-1. Mark DeRosa's second World Baseball Classic as the manager. He said that he hadn't wanted something so bad in a long time. He wears it. As it takes him back to the must-win games that he played in his 16 seasons in the major league. Some of those came with the manager on the other side. He was traded to the Cardinals, was DeRosa, in 2009 when Albert Pujols was in the middle of his third MVP season. And those guys have remained close. Schwarber takes the walk. He's on with 1 out. In fact, one of the first calls DeRosa got after Team USA beat Canada the other night was from Albert Pujols. Here's Gunnar Henderson.
I got to experience that for a couple months over there and see Albert up close. What a man. I'd rather see him up close on the same team than try to pitch against him, because that didn't go well.
He gets you just once, though.
Yeah, just one time he got me that wasn't a home run. 3 times he got me that was a home run.
Good. Just once was the single. Okay. 1 on 1 out. Gunnar Henderson tied this game with a home run in the 4th. 2 batters later, Roman Anthony hit a home run of his own, and that's the scoring. Ernie Clemens pinch running for Schwarber. Strike 1 from Dominguez. DeRosa said about a week into his time with the Cardinals, they were playing in Cincinnati. They were down 3 in the top of the 9th inning. And Tony La Russa had the closer up, and he's thinking, what are we doing? We're down 3. Albert Pujols comes up and hits a grand slam. They all knew it was coming. Grand slam, closer in, game over, Cardinals win.
He's one of the greatest hitters of all time.
Over 700 home runs.
People forget how unbelievable defense he was at first base. He covered he covered half the field.
Yeah.
Like he took away more hits because he was so aggressive and athletic over there. And
the machine eligible for the Hall of Fame in 2028. It won't take any time once he is. 2-2 on Gunnar Henderson. For the Dominican Republic in the bottom of the 8th inning, Juan Soto, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Manny Machado. Really doesn't matter where in the lineup they're coming up. It's going to make you say, uh-oh. Can the U.S. get some insurance? Breathe a little bit easier. Here's a 2-2. Henderson hits it on the ground to second. Marte to second, 1. Perdomo to first. A double play. The Dominican bullpen continues to shine. Can those big-time bats that have been unstoppable coming in get things going? Just the Caminero home run. Running out of chances. Down to their last 6 outs. Winner to the championship game.
Like a relentless weed, moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms can keep coming back.
Break away to what's possible.
Guerrero with not a lot of traffic on the bases.
And Mark DeRosa managing it more traditionally here. Instead of firing Mason Miller, who is his closer, who is his top reliever here at the part of the order in Soto, Guerrero, Machado, he goes with Whitlock and has Miller for the 9th inning. So here we go in a 2-1 game. First pitch to Soto is in the dirt for ball 1. Couple defensive changes. Pete Crow Armstrong has moved over to left field. Byron Buxton is in center, so you can put Buxton in the 7th spot in the order. He'll be due up second in the 9th. That's for Roman Anthony. Soto fouls it off, and it's 1-1. Whitlock, as dominant as any reliever in the American League as last season went on. Clear of an injury that had to miss almost a full season the year before. Pops the mitt. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Got that hitch. Hides the ball pretty good, but he's funky.
Here he comes with a 1-2. And he strikes out Soto. Drops the slider to the knees for the first out of the 8th.
This breaking ball is below the zone, and Soto was letting him know that.
Now Vlad Jr. Will Smith does his best to frame that one for the home plate umpire Corey Blazer. Rings up Soto. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Guerrero's 1 for 3. And the Blue Jays want it up. Guy Dominican wants up, but he waves and misses, and it's 1-2. Whitlock has that slider dialed.
I'm just telling you, like, one guy's going to come in after him, throw 100, 102. He doesn't need to throw 102. He's got so many different weapons to get you out. That sinker, slider, changeup, breaking ball, curveball, sinker at 95.
He's had Guerrero's number. Vlad is 1 for 8. 4 strikeouts against Garrett Whitlock. Tying run at the plate, 1 gone, 8th inning. 2-2 pitch. Checks his swing, and he goes full. Didn't need to check down to first. He shouted to let us know. No, he says. First WBC for Vlad. Something his dad never got to do. Hall of Famer Vladimir Guerrero said he regretted that. Encouraged Vlad Jr. to do it. Grounds this one back to Whitlock. Over to first, 2 out.
Beautiful thing about Whitlock is he's not like your traditional relievers that throw hard and falls all over the place. He falls in a good, his mechanics give him a defensive ability to field the ball up the middle. It's like an extra infielder that doesn't exist that much in our game with the mechanics of trying to throw the ball so hard.
Up to Manny Machado. How about Garrett Whitlock, this U.S. pitching staff tonight? Machado's 1 for 3. Single in the 4th. U.S. staff has taken the air out of this building. As loud as any place you're ever going to find that Caminero home run. Really throughout this tournament for the Dominican Republic, but a hush has fallen over. There's tension and now a hush. The 1-0 pitch. Not close. Ball and a strike. Still plenty of tension. Strike 2. Gets 2 chases from Machado, who has never faced Whitlock. That's a rarity in this matchup because all these guys, longtime big leaguers. The 1-2 pitch.
Ford, one more. You can try to chase it, get him to chase one more time on that same, but have it on the outer third part of the plate. Make it look like a strike longer than that last one.
Got him! Garrett Whitlock mows down the heart of the order. Has them crossing their arms saying, what is going on? After 8, 2-1.
When you're ready for spring break, emphasis on the break. It matters where you stay. Book your spring break now. Hilton.
Hoping they have a guy who throughout his career has been an all-star, hoping he can tap back into that in his first full season in New York. They'll face Will Smith here. Mentioned a lot of arms. This is the 6th one out of the bullpen for Albert Pujols in this game. Soto gave up the home run to Roman Anthony, but the next 5 have given up just 1 hit, no runs. Pitch clock violation. Doval's been known to get those.
Still blows me away. I mean, it is absolutely unexcusable. I just don't understand it, but we still keep talking about it.
And so this starts 1 ball, no strikes for Will Smith, who's 1 for 3. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning. Caminero, Julio Rodriguez, Austin Wells. Figure it will be Mason Miller for Team USA. (2-0). Strike 1. If Team USA wins, Norman McLean still lined up to start the championship game, looking for a bounce back game after Italy hit him hard. That could be against Team Italy. On a 2-1. Smith takes ball 3.
Smith has seen Mr. Doval a few times in the same division.
He was joking the other day, went out to catch a bullpen from Logan Webb. Then I'm gonna go get some more. Go get some information for the boys. Just like WBC, the only place you're going to see a Yankee and a Red Sox being good friends. WBC, only place you're going to see a Dodger catching a Giant. Two to 1 in the 9th. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Will Smith. Here comes Doval. Inside corner to get him.
Oh, you do not see that very often. Will Smith strikes out twice in one game. This backs up, and Will thinks that's off the plate. Really close.
So now Byron Buxton, who came off of the bench defensively last inning. This Dominican bullpen, we're talking about what they've done tonight, just a continuation of what they've done all tournament. 27 2/3, only 2 runs allowed. Had you told any Dominican fan going to give up just 2 runs, they would have said, all right, can't wait for the championship Tuesday.
Oh, absolutely. 6-2, 7-2, 5-2, somewhere in there. And if you also told them that they were going to strike out Team USA as much as they did. Oh, this is the only chance in the history of this stadium. Look at that.
That we were going to catch it?
Oh, yeah. There's no chance it gets one in this pool.
There's Miller getting ready. David Ross stands by. 14 Ks from the Dominican pitchers. Out hitting the U.S. 8-7, but again, it's just been solo home runs. Buxton on 2-1. Yeah, the U.S. going to lament that 3rd inning opportunity, but if the score ends like this, they're not going to lament it as badly as Dominican Republic will the 7th, where they had 2nd and 3rd, top of the order up, and couldn't score.
Yeah, it's always more painful the later it happens in the game, right? It's. It happens in the 3rd, you're like, we got 6 more innings, 5 more innings, you know. Happens in the 7th, you just start running out of those opportunities.
Is there any reason to think Wells should have scored on the base hit from Perdomo?
There is, but that's with tension and already getting a guy thrown out at 3rd. And I'll tell you the one that to me was Tatis not going to 3rd on the one inning where maybe you talked about a little gun shy after getting thrown out at 3rd. That was the one he should have gone to 3rd on.
Yeah, I was got thrown out in the 3rd inning for the 3rd out at 3rd base. In the 5th inning, he hung on at 2nd when he could have gotten to 3rd with 1 away. Fouled off by Bryce Terrain.
Wells was in a tough spot, and the angle that he had with that ball almost directly over Bobby Witt Jr. So you can't get doubled off there, especially with the lineup with less than 2 outs.
You know, but Pujols figures to probably get questions. Did you consider pinch running for Wells, representing the tying run there? Augustine Ramirez, his 2nd catcher. Don't have a 3rd catcher. The tournament may have been right there. That decision and the inability to score him. 0-2 on Terang. Duvall looking for a 1-2-3-9. Checked up, ball 1. Along first and fair, and Guerrero to the back to end the top of the 9th inning. Fasten those seatbelts to the bottom of the 9th. It's Caminero, Rodriguez, and Wells coming up against Mason Miller.
The crown returns on Fox and FS1. An elite postseason tournament.
first pitch. Caminero loads up and fouls it off. And he had one over the middle, but it was 101.
This young man's bat is about as electric as Miller's arm.
It is the fastest bat in the American League. Miller's 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Fast bat, faster pitch. Stuck with it, fouled off.
Here's the hard part if you're Miller. It's hard to get around on the 102, but the dirty pool would be if he throws a slider right here, he's swinging. He's swinging. He just can't hang it.
He did, and he got the swing and a miss. Smith corrals down to first, one away. Mason Miller has faced 11 hitters in the Classic and struck out 9 of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the dirty pool right there. Like, you see 102, and you're going to get the bat out going quick, and all it has to do is spin and not stay in the zone. This is a little bit of a dirty play when he was running to first. Harper wasn't too happy about that right there.
Rodriguez, who has homered against Miller before, jumps out of the way of a first pitch slider. 0 for 2 tonight. Does not have a hit since the first game a week and a half ago. 1-0. Same thing. Ball 2. Austin Wells is due next, but Albert Pujols has sent O'Neill Cruz into the on-deck circle. Miller's 2-0. Ball 3. Flirting with trouble if Rodriguez gets on base with his stolen base ability. Strike 1. Look a little off, down to 99. The 3-1 pitch. Julio Rodriguez takes ball 4. Tying on a board in the 9th.
Little surprise there with the 3-1 slider.
Tying on a board, winning run coming up. O'Neill Cruz, who hits it harder than anybody in the sport, and as a 450-foot home run in this Classic, represents the winning run. He also strikes out at a higher rate than anybody in the sport. If you're Mason Miller, what's your plan of attack?
Well, you can't be as worried about the runner, even though you talked about the speed and getting in scoring position. If you're going to get beat with a fastball, you get beat with a fastball away. Because at 102 away, I'll take my chances.
These guys have been dreaming of putting on their nation's uniform their whole lives.
El loco lo manda a reunirse. O'Neill Cruz.
Andy Pettit delivers a message
Ya
to
tú
Mason
sabes.
Miller. So O'Neill Cruz gets ready to bat.
O'Neill Cruz, mi gente. Mira la reunión que causó.
In that baseball-loving country. So many of these guys talking about this meaning more than even a World Series would. Albert Pujols told us this would be the greatest accomplishment of his Hall of Fame career to win the WBC. All right, Rodriguez and his speed, the tying run. First pitch to O'Neill Cruz, not close, popped out of Smith's glove. Tying run is in scoring position. What happened?
Looked like a first pitch slider that just backed up. caught it in the heel and it just popped out of his glove.
One on Cruz. Swings through it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Miller to Cruz with a 1-1 pitch. And the dirt ball 2. What a stop by Smith that time.
That was an incredible stop.
Well, might have gave him one with the ball popping out of his glove, but saves 90 feet right there. Important 90 with 1 away.
Bobby Witt's got a tough challenge to keep him close at second. Got a good lead.
2-1 pitch. Cruz swings and misses, strike 2. Perdomo's on deck, and then it would be Tatis. O'Neill Cruz pinch hitting. The 2-2. Ground ball towards the middle. Witt's there. Close play in time, 2 out. So the tying run is now 90 feet away. And it's up to Geraldo Perdomo. Mentioned that he hits it harder than anybody. He's also one of the fastest men in the sport.
He can fly. Now a lot of pressure on the infield. Of course, the pressure on Will Smith.
Perdomo is the guy we were talking about, John, has become one of the best clutch hitters in baseball. 2 outs, 9th inning. Winner to the championship. Perdomo takes a ball. One 0. Strike 1. At third base, Gunnar Henderson really tight. Perdomo, one of the best bunters there is. Rest of the infield back. The 1-1 pitch. Strike 2. Took a fastball right through the heart of the plate.
Everybody got their money's worth.
Two and 2. Good catch by Smith. Pick off that 102-mile-per-hour fastball. Tying run at third. 2 out of the 9th inning. 2-2 pitch. It's gone full. Tatis looming. Where are you going?
Got to go fastball. I didn't think he was going to go slider right there. He wasn't in a super aggressive mode, so he got to go fastball. Got to earn it.
Pop up towards the seats. We'll do it again. We go fastball. Perdomo stayed alive. Paulstein started this game. 5 relievers have combined scoreless relief work. Julio Rodriguez at third, 2 out. Mason Miller's 3-2. Fouled it again. You can cut it with a knife.
I'd say if he had better touch on his slider, he's actually spiked a couple and he did get the 1 swing and miss. If he had better touch after this pitch, I would consider a slider.
Mason Miller's 8th pitch to Perdomo. Here it is. Oh, the championship. The United States takes down the powerhouse that is the Dominican Republic. 2-1 the final score.
What a game. It was going to be tough for either team that lost in a one-run game, but man, oh man, it had everything.
Most shockingly, and the boldest of the headlines, it has the Team USA pitching staff with Paul Skeens and 5 relievers holding a team that had averaged 10 runs a game to one tin soldier.
Yeah. Well, that 3-2 pitch is going to go down if USA is able to win this whole thing. That slider right there that was below the zone. And one team reacting and the other just stunned.
Thinking, we sure we don't have ABS yet? You sure we can't challenge that? Perdomo and Dominican Republic are wondering, and they'll have to wonder what would have happened with Fernando Tatis left standing on deck. Down to the field, Ken Rosenthal has Paul Skeens.
Thanks, Joe. Paul, we were all hoping for a game for the ages. We got one, and you were a huge part. What was it like for you pitching in an environment like this and being part of a win like this?
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. Just coming into the game, just, you know, wanting to put up as many zeros as possible and put us in a position to win. But everybody else did their job. That was really fun to watch.
This Dominican lineup got a lot of attention coming into the game, and understandably so. How were you able to achieve success?
Just executing. It wasn't the prettiest or the cleanest game I've ever pitched, but you know, we saw it last game too. The great defense behind Judge makes that throw. Just makes it really easy to compete when you got plays like that. Bryce in the first inning, I mean, they did a really good job.
Paul, you've talked a lot about pitching for your country, pitching for all the servicemen and women around the world. What does it mean to you to pitch so well tonight with those people watching?
Yeah, I got a text from one of my teammates at Air Force who's I don't know where he's stationed right now, but he said he was going to wake up at 3 a.m. to watch the game. Puts it into perspective. You know, if this isn't in perspective enough already, it's you know, it's heavy stuff. For us playing a game against a bunch of people that we know and we played all the time, it's heavy, and so it's, you know, just an absolute honor to be able to do it.
Paul, congratulations. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.
Joe, back to you.
The obvious Paul Skeens fueled by a deeper purpose, putting on that uniform, and he has, along with 5 of his buddies from down in that bullpen, pitched Team USA to a 3rd consecutive final. Now the look for their first championship since 2017. Venezuela against Italy in the other semi. Can Michael Lorenzen do it again for the Italians? Venezuela, what a scene it was last night as they took down Japan. A vaunted lineup of their own led by Ronald Acuna Jr. 2-1 the final score in a game of pitching and solo home runs. The United States in this clash of titans still standing. On to the championship. Take a break afterwards. KB and the guys will have post-game coverage from here in Miami.
All right, Fox Saturday Night Baseball is back. Fans are back. Celebrations are back. Players are back, doing 17 things before...